everyone, Austin Ayers here, again, owner of Interceptor 1 Tornado Intercept vehicle. Today we're going to be doing an install of some new toys for the Tornado Intercept vehicle. Now Interceptor 1 is a 2017 Ford Police Interceptor utility. Means it was a former police vehicle. I got a good deal on it, low mileage. I think it had 62,000 miles for a 2017 for only like 5,200 bucks. Not bad, but here's a little known fact. It's cold up here in Pennsylvania. In New England and Northeast, this entire Great Lakes region as a whole, it gets cold. You can say the same about Minnesota and Seattle as well, but when you involve lake effect, it's very, very cold. And one known fact is with cold temperatures equals dead batteries. How can we prevent that? Well, making sure that it stays charged even in the coldest temperatures possible. Now, I don't have an engine block heater on Interceptor 1, and today we're going to be installing the Noco Genius 2D and the Noco GCP1. So basically what we're going to be doing is we're going to be installing, as you guys can see here, this is the Noco GCP1. What this will do is allow me to plug in an extension cord from the garage or from the house into the fender of the truck. Now you may be saying, Austin, what do you mean plug it into the fender? Well, if you take a look, if this is the fender, the sheet metal right here, this is actually going to have a hole drilled through the fender. It's about 1 3/4 hole, 2-inch hole. Then there's going to be 3 actual sheet metal screws that are mounting this to the fender and securing it. And on the inside, it's going to have an extension for the 120 volt plug. As you can see here, this is what it will look like. Now, it is weather sealed, as you can see here. We're going to be siliconing around it. Inside the engine compartment, we're going to have the Noco Genius 2D. Now, I paid for all this out of pocket. This is not like me getting it for free. No, I am paying out of pocket for this. What this is going to do is this is actually going to sit inside of the engine compartment there, as you guys can see. And it will connect into the 120 volt extension, in turn hitting the extension cord coming into the house or the garage, and it gets connected to the battery, as you can see. Oh, let's see here. Right here, you guys can see how it will be connected. Now, you may be saying, Austin, this looks like it's pretty thin wire. And that is, it is. It's probably about 16 or 18 gauge wire, I would have to say. And what that is it's not there to jumpstart you. You don't need 10 or 12 gauge or even 8 gauge wire to jumpstart you. What this is a charger and a maintainer. Ideally, what's happening is that it's just going to maintain its charge. It's going to ensure all the cells are healthy. What this will not do is save you from replacing an alternator. A couple weeks back, we were heading out to Huntington, Pennsylvania, and we were going to one of the dark sky sites. Bad news, we hit something on Route 22. I look over at my friend who's driving because we were going to go see the meteor shower, and I'm like, what was that? He goes, oh, it's just like a piece of cloth. I was like, okay. About, I'd say 40 minutes later, ding, 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 he's like, oh, something's on the dash. And I take a look over from the center console, said charging system needs serviced. So I told him, pull over. I had an idea what it was. Serpentine belt was frayed. Apparently whatever it was had a piece of metal in it and it nicked the belt. This will not save you from this, but this will save you in -0 degree temperature, negative degree weather, from having to jumpstart your vehicle. This will make it ready to go, allows you to warm it up. And I knew about these because I was in the fire department for a while, and I did my EMT class as a student. I never pursued that in any way, shape, or form. I went to go work in a hospital, but on the ambulances and the fire trucks, they always have a thing called an auto eject, which is where you plug in one of the 120 volt or 240 volt, depending on your department station. When you turn the truck on and put it in drive, it shoots it out. This doesn't do auto eject. You have to manually pull it out. But if you have a big bright orange or yellow or green extension cord, I don't think you're going to forget to unplug it. You should always do a 360 of your vehicle, but let's go install this today. Okay, we're now out here at the Explorer, and what we're going to be doing is installing First, the GCP1. Now this is that outlet that basically takes the outside power and puts it inside of the engine compartment. I'm going to be using a strand of fiber optic to be able to feed and trace the wire to the hole to go here from the fender into the engine compartment with this. So let's start. Now I am going to be choosing to put it right here. There's some scuffing up here from when the police department had owned this prior, a little bit of a rust spot there. So I'm going to mount it right there. Now I did actually loosen the bolt to the headlight, and there's a little pass-through here I think we'll be able to utilize. So let's take a peek and see how it works. Okay, I'm going to be using a 9/16 bit as we begin to drill with our 1 3/4. By doing this, this should be just enough needed to be able to get this nice and tight. So let's begin this adventure, guys. Okay, we're gonna clean this up. I want that to go right there. So you know what, let's right here. And we are in. I like the nice wet. We just pull off all of those metallic shavings and don't have to worry. Now let's do the big one. Here's a tip. Always tighten your bits. Always tighten your bits. Now let's try this again, guys. Going to insert into the hole. Okay. Too sure what is going on here, but we almost have this. Look at that. We have that fully done there. Now we gotta try to get that out and found down these edges just a little bit. So while I do that, enjoy this video. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to take one of our pieces here of fiber and we're going to feed it up through here like such. And this here, what I am able to do is actually attach this plug to the end of this and feed it up. So let's see how this is done. Okay, now that that is done, what we are looking at is how we want to install this. Now, I do like it this way because it does say NOCO. And I think that that's actually a fairly good location. It is upside down like such, so the ground is facing up and we have it coming into the engine compartment. I think that I am perfectly okay with that being right there. To play it safe, we are actually going to be utilizing some caulking. And what this is going to do is it's silicone and it's going to seal around where that metal is, so that way we actually don't end up with any sort of issues. So
as that piece of metal here gets in the way, kinda. Okay. Like so. And now what this is going to do is that's actually going to seal that open metal so it doesn't rust. And then we're going to take an 1/8 inch drill bit and we're just going to start some pilot holes here, is all. And then we will put in the self-tapping screws. And what I did is I went ahead and got some self-tapping screws with some locking washers just to make this seal better, you know, like such. And then up in here. Not sure what's going on with that one. I think it may be hitting the plastic from the fairing in that very back there, but this is what we have now for our port, and it seems sturdy. It seems very sturdy, and this is definitely going to be weatherproof without issue. So we now will begin the installation of the Noco Genius 2, which is actually the charger unit for this. Now, I did find a hard plastic piece that I can do this in. And when you take a look here, I'm going to be going for these right here. There's a lot of depth. I could also choose back in here, but I was looking, I don't want to chance it. If I go right here, which is going to be smack dab right there, I'll be able to actually install this right on top of the fuse box here once I get it back on. Again, you just got to be very careful with this to make sure that you know where you're going to be doing your drilling, which for me is right there. And that is all we need to do for that. And now it's time to install the screw mounts. Okay. We are going to assemble this now, just the way that we planned it. Doesn't have to be too fancy, just has to be enough to secure this so that way it's not actually loose. And these are fairly small screws to begin with here anyway, so see? And now what we are going to do is actually mount that to go right here. It's going to clip in there. Noco. Okay, and so what we are going to do here is we are going to actually install this into the system. What we're going to do is first take this off of this nut here. This is one of your tightening ones. So I'm holding this here, and I'm just slowly loosening this up. Like so. There we go. Now we tighten this down. Careful not to short it. Like so. Okay. Careful not to over torque it. Now, this here is the negative. We're going to have to do the same for the positive. Now, while working on the positive, you have to be a lot more cautious because all of this is a ground. So, what we are going to do is I'm going to lift this up here. I'm going to hold this in line. And mind you, this here is all live. You need to make sure that you do this just right, and we'll have enough slack, so that's a plus. There we go. Whoops. Make sure you don't do that. Actually, just touch the ground on this. Okay, there we go. doing it. I don't like doing it. Okay. And so now, this is fully installed.
I hope you guys enjoyed this season 1 of Interceptor 1. Season 1 was primarily getting the vehicle mostly upfitted to the way that it needed to be. I know that we did lose a couple episodes, unfortunately. It happens, you know. But this is a new camera. I'm going to have a whole new workflow, and hopefully 2024 we can actually get the vehicle on the road and get out there and get some awesome intercepts. That's what I'm truly hoping for. Will it happen? We'll have to wait and see. I do know that we're going to be hitting the hurricane season hard though in fall of 2024, so drop a subscription right now. It doesn't cost anything, and yeah, no guys, I truly appreciate all the support. I appreciate all the subscribers and channel members. You guys have been absolutely fantastic. You know, I just had surgery last Friday, and being able to get out here and be able to do something like this kind of makes me feel good. I get to be back in the saddle of creating content. So I will see you guys all for season 2 of Interceptor 1. Never stop chasing, guys.